Yes, my name is Kenneth Loch of the TENNISSANCE method. Just want to get into what I'm calling tennis and exercise science. Need to get into this. It turns out that, let's see, when it comes to the connection between tennis and exercise science, let's see, who I'm claiming to be is actually the first, say, tennis player, say, who, uh, who knows anything about exercise science. And that would be based on the fact that who I represent is the first, say, tennis player to actually be able to recognize tennis as an exercise, say a mind-body exercise. And with that, you know, now that I'm here, I have to do this video and kind of explain to people that ultimately they have not learned, say, how tennis is an exercise, and have zero, say, knowledge of that, and how I would represent, a professor that they would learn, who they would learn from, and based on the fact that they would learn, say, from me, it would make it possible for them to become intelligent and actually understand what it means to be intelligent when it comes to their mind. And then when it comes to the body, what it means to be physically coordinated. And it just turns out that, let's see, I would represent, the first tennis player to actually to understand what it means to be, say, both intelligent and coordinated. And let's see, so when it comes to the exercise, basic information here would be the exercise is something you would do in relation to your whole body. It would be an exercise that would develop, say, coordination with your whole body and say, skill, and ultimately become ambidextrous. So, so when it comes to, say, tennis players, they have not learned how to become ambidextrous, how to develop their whole body, and what they've learned is how, in a sense, not to become ambidextrous, and kind of anti-ambidextrous. I mean, when you develop one arm, it turns out it's the complete opposite. Again, there's no increase in relation to coordination, it turns out, when you develop one arm. So when it comes to getting an education now, when it comes to exercise science, I'm making it possible for just, say, tennis players or just people that are interested in exercise and want to look into exercise in relation to it being a science, and having that understanding and ultimately put it into practice. So the idea that when it comes to the science, you'll experiment. So the idea that, and I would actually teach, say, you how to experiment, and basic way would be to experiment with the whole idea of developing your say, weaker arm, and then doing that when it comes to, say, developing say, the fundamentals when it comes to hitting a tennis ball, and then being able to develop a practice which would be based on that, and then the idea that it would be based on, again, developing both arms and then equally, and the idea, again, how that would represent an exercise. And it's interesting enough to to learn about exercise science, you need actually an exercise to use as the means for your experimentation, say, investigation, into it, and then also the idea that it would be like a applied science, say. I'm thinking, where ultimately would apply your body as a means, your own body as a means for that experimentation. And it just turns out that tennis players just haven't even begun to do this. And then who I represent, maybe again, is represent the first, say, professor, teacher, to make it possible for a student to entertain the idea of learning how tennis is an exercise and then the science associated with it. Yeah, I just thought I'd put this down. I think it's just something that I need to put down, and hope you got something from it. Thank you.